Hey, inbound people, there's no turning around now. I got a microphone, I got this thing, I'm on the stage. There's nothing you can do about it anymore. Hey all, I am so excited to be up here. This is gonna be wild. I am gonna talk incredibly fast. For those of you who don't know me, you are very lucky. My name is Schwedelson. I am random. I have an agency, a demand generation agency. I'm based in South Florida. We're about 110 people down there, and I've been in marketing literally my whole life. I grew up in a small house in Long Island. Our house cost $46,000. My mom was a school teacher. My dad worked at a magazine company. They both lost their jobs, and they took all the money they had in the world and they bought a computer in 1980. And they went to our garage, and their idea was to start a direct mail business for catalogers. And so literally my entire life, that's all I knew was marketing at the dinner table. And they would go to these trade shows, and I would beg them to go. I don't know why. I think I just like getting like free pens and stuff. I don't know. So there I am at a trade show, 1989 Comdex. I don't know who the hell I'm calling, right? And I don't know why I own that horrible tie. I'm like, every time I see this photo, I'm so embarrassed. I'm like, you're a loser. Get a life. Anyway, that's who I am. And so I do all this stuff. Who cares what I do? I want to share with you really some struggles that I've had and some very specific things that I think you can incorporate into your life, into your business, into everything. So here's the story, okay? There was a pandemic. I don't know if you know about that, but there was a pandemic. It was awesome. We all wear like plastic bags on our head. It was incredible. And the world shut down. And it was so much fun because I thought my company was shutting down. I had like a nervous breakdown. I thought I was going out of business. And it was close, okay? I had a big payroll, and I didn't want to fire anybody. I didn't want to furlough anybody. And I was like, oh my God, every one of my clients was cutting their budget. They're like, we don't know what's gonna happen. They cut their budget, cut their budget. I'm like, oh no, what am I gonna do? So I said, okay, I need to meet a lot more people. Because I said to myself, the more people I meet, maybe the more business I can get. So I said, okay, oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, there we go again. Now we're good. Okay. Oh. What's happening? Let's go back. Let's go back to where it says 1,200 connections. How do we do that? Back, back, back. There we go. Thank you. See, you got to roll with it. Who cares? Anyway, I had 1,200 connections on LinkedIn. That's it. Not a lot, really, for what I wanted to do. I hated posting on social media. Oh, I didn't like it. So uncomfortable. I didn't have a newsletter. I didn't have a podcast. I had none of this. My business didn't have it. I had literally no plan, right? So what did I do? I said, in order to not go out of business, in order to not go broke, I needed to get comfortable being uncomfortable. I needed to become a human being, right? I need to insert humanity into my company. So I said, okay, I hate posting on social media. I'm gonna start posting on social media. I don't know how to write a newsletter. My company's gonna have a newsletter, and I'm gonna write it. Screw it, okay? And I started doing that, and then something happened. After the first few newsletters I sent out, at the bottom of my newsletter, I inserted this random thing. After all the different marketing tactics, I put in this thing that said, since you didn't ask, and I wrote about random, stupid stuff that I cared about. And I literally said, this is what I included, that I like Yacht Rock on Amazon Prime. And by the way, I do. It's awesome. Nothing bad happens on Yacht Rock. It's like the greatest thing ever. Out of this whole session, the only thing that's going to come out of it is you're going to go check out Yacht Rock on Amazon. And I wrote, The Bachelorette is such a bad season. It was a horrible season. I've seen every single season. That's the session that you're at. Somebody has seen every season of everything in Batch Nation. So I sent that out. What happened? I couldn't believe it. I got a zillion replies. All anybody cared about was the nonsense that I wrote. They were so excited that there was like a human being behind all of this. And that's what changed. It changed everything for my business, changed everything for me. And this is what you need to be incorporating into your business right now. And I'm gonna share with you exactly why. Because AI is coming for all of us. I'm gonna come back to going out of business in a second, okay? But let's get into what's going on. So there's this thing called AI. I don't know if you've heard about it. Right? It's catching on a little bit. But here's the problem. We are all using AI for so much stuff. The pendulum has swung so far, okay? We are going to AI for all sorts of content things and subject lines and social posts, all this stuff that we are now living in this world, and it's getting worse by the day. It's a tidal wave of generic garbage. Garbage. It's terrible, right? So here's the thing. This is the kicker. Lo-fi content. Lo-fi content engagement is up 42% in the last 12 months. What does that mean? What is lo-fi content? By the way, my slides are historically ugly. I take no pride in my slides. We are not a design agency. We suck at design. Proof in point right here. There you are. Anyway, who cares? So what is lo-fi content? It is content that is intentionally created with a raw, authentic, and less polished aesthetic. Basically, content looks like made by a human. Take a phone, you point it at yourself. That is lo-fi content. Okay, in the last 12 months on LinkedIn, lo-fi content is getting 72% more likes and comments. And on Instagram, it's getting 64% more likes and comments. Why? Because we're sick of the generic stuff, and the humanity of it all is what stands out, right? This is what stands out. These are all big brands, important people. Look at Alex Lieberman on the top left there, okay? That's the dude who founded Morning Brew, all right? He got a piece of underwear. He cut some holes in it. That is how he announced the new event that he was doing. Okay, why? Do you think he knows what he's doing? Yeah, I think he does. He founded Morning Brew because he knows, and all these people know, that you know what? The only way to stand out is to be a human. Now you may say, oh, I can't do that. That's off-brand, right? Cisco's posting pictures of cats, okay? There's no such thing as off-brand. That's not the world we're in anymore. The only way to fight the AI tidal wave is to stand out by being yourself. And good news, you're a human. That's a win. Now, let's talk about Mark Zuckerberg, right? 2 years ago, it's safe to say that Mark Zuckerberg was the biggest nerd on the planet. Okay, he was. He's like, that guy's a giant nerd. And everyone even thought, was he like made by AI? Is he even real? Is he a robot? Because all the content that Meta was putting out was stuff like this, right? Very generic. And even Meta at the time, 2 years ago, they're like, oh, they're for old people. That's not the new thing. And then what did Mark Zuckerberg do? He has access to something. What does Zuckerberg have access to? All the data on the planet. So what does he know? He knows that the secret to success and engagement, to making your brand see of the moment, is to be a human. And he started sharing. I could have put up here 10 pictures of Mark Zuckerberg not wearing a shirt. The dude loves posting pictures of himself with no shirt on, okay? And he knows this is what works. I don't understand something though. When I was putting this deck together, I'm like, that's the CEO of NVIDIA with him. How does he have the same jacket? Was he like, dude, I love your jacket, will you get me one? Like, what happened there? Or did he just like steal it? I don't know, super weird. I mean, it's a nice jacket. It's not good enough to be like, I need to get that. Like, seriously, it's embarrassing, actually. Anyway, fast forward, I'll probably buy that jacket. No life. So, what can we take from all this? You need to get uncomfortable. But no, I don't like being uncomfortable. I don't want to do that. It's off-brand. My company can't do that. We're a B2B plumbing supply company. We can't post pictures of our executives doing whatever. Cool, go out of business. Fine, no big deal. Listen, there is seriously nothing wrong with being average. There's nothing wrong with it. You could be unremarkable, and you could be generic. Excellent way to go through life. Really fun, okay? That's not going to do it anymore. Listen, everybody here is interesting. Every single one of you. And it's so easy. Like, what did you have for dinner last night? I'll tell you what I had for dinner last night. I had salmon in my room. Why? Because for the last month, I said, oh my God, I'm going to look like a fat slob on this stage. I got to not eat anything bad for the next month. And it's been a horrible month. I've eaten so much salmon, so much stuff I do not like. I've learned about different versions of noodles that I didn't even know were like, you know, fake noodles that like don't even really taste like noodles. They look like zucchini noodles. They suck. They're terrible. But because they have the same shape, you're like, I'm eating a noodle. Doesn't work. Anyway, it's interesting. It is interesting, right? You're like, oh, that was interesting. Maybe a little bit. That is how you insert humanity into what you're doing. Why do we love Dharmesh? Yes, is he a brilliant dude? Absolutely. Is he pushing HubSpot and everything into the future? 100%. But you know, Dharmesh, you may not know this. He is sometimes uncomfortable actually speaking publicly. It's not his favorite thing to do. He posts about that. He's very open about that. He crushes it on stage, but his dad jokes are incredible. I mean, literally, the only dad jokes on earth that aren't terrible. I love this guy, right? We all do. What if he just stood up here and said, now I'm going to show you the code for Breeze? Like, oh, get me out of here. No. That is why we all feel connected to this brand, to HubSpot, to Inbound, because they insert humanity into what they do. I don't care how boring your industry is. I don't care if you're in the government sector promoting, nuclear on-demand videos. Who cares? You can insert humanity into everything that you do. So here's the other big thing. AI is coming for your email. This is crazy, and this is a game changer, and this is going to happen in the next 30 to 60 days. Okay, did you know, right now, in the last 6 months, over 50% of all email newsletters have at least 30% of the content written by AI. We are so lazy, we stink, right? We're going to AI to help us write all this stuff. Bad, fail. What does that mean? Why do we care? Here's the problem. Okay, Apple, there's a company called Apple, they make phones. Apple is releasing in the next 30 days the latest version of iOS. That's the little operating system that we use on the phones, okay? And as part of that release, iOS 18, they're updating the Mail app. The Mail app is that blue icon on our phones that you click on to read your email. Doesn't matter if you use a corporate email address, a Gmail, a Comcast, doesn't matter. 47% of everybody that reads email reads it by clicking that blue icon. But here's the thing. What Apple's doing in the next 30 days is they're going to be using AI. And every time you receive an email, they're going to be putting it in one of 4 tabs. Okay, they're going to be putting it either a primary tab, a transactional tab, an updates tab, or a promotional tab. And they're going to be using AI to determine where the email should go. And they're going to be looking at all the emails as they come in. And 47% of the people are using this Mail app. So this is a big deal because guess what? You don't want to go into the promotions tab because how often are you going to really check that? You're not. So there's something specifically that you can do to either go in the primary or updates tab. Because if you don't go in those 2 tabs, the likelihood of somebody seeing your email is going to go in the toilet. Bad. So here's the big news. If you fast forward a year to 2 years from now, email newsletters will be the most and dominant form of promotional email. Because it will be the only form of promotional email that does not go into the promotions tab, not just in Apple, but also in Gmail. Email newsletters. But it's a very specific kind of email newsletter. This is changing. This is not the way it used to be anymore. So email newsletters from brands. So if I sent out my email newsletter, it came from Guru Media Hub, my company. It will go into the promotions tab because it will be viewed as promotional, okay? If the email newsletter comes from me or your senior vice president of whatever, or your director of whatever, or your CEO of whatever, or your founder of whatever, if it comes from the human, even though it's technically still coming from your corporate account, if it comes from a person and it's written in a person form, we've tested this with all the beta releases on iOS, it will go into either the primary or the updates tab, the ones that we're all going to be checking every single day. And this is not like Gmail's tab. So Gmail's tabs, the reason it's not like Gmail is in Gmail it's like a side thing. People barely turn on tabs in Gmail. But in Apple, in the update, it's going to be set by default. And as of today, this might change. The only way to turn off tabs in iOS 18 is to turn off all the AI functionality, okay, on the phone. Now, who the hell wants to do that? Why'd you get the phone? You want the AI stuff, right? So everybody's going to be using these tabs. So we need to be thinking about having newsletters that come from a human being within your organization. You're like, really? This is what I'm doing with this 30 minutes? I'm wasting my time hearing about this? You all send out emails. You're not going to be able to promote that webinar. You're not going to just be able to send out whatever. You need an email coming from an executive at your company or you or yourself. It is critical. Humanity in email is going to be what works. It is that simple. That is where we're at. Now, personal newsletters, it's not just about the AI. We want to feel connected to people. We're sick of this garbage, this generic garbage, and we see it in the data. In the last 6 months, personal newsletters, one's coming from a person. That doesn't mean it's like just about pop culture. It's corporate email, corporate newsletters coming from a human being. right? The tone of it coming from a human being. Personal newsletters have a 48% higher average open rate, the percentage of people opening up the emails, than brand newsletters. This one change in your marketing can change everything that you do. It's easy. What's the big deal? All right, let's get back to me going out of business, because that's fun. Oh, okay. So I was like, okay, now I have to get really comfortable being uncomfortable. I go, how do I do that? When people like wrote me back that, oh, I'm watching The Bachelorette too. I'm like, okay, let's go deep. What's my story? What am I into? I go, I really like reality TV. I do. Love is Blind, UK, US, Love Island. Golden Bachelorette started this week. If you tell me what happened, I'll be very upset with you. I have it recorded. You're like, what is he talking about? Real Housewives, Salt Lake City starting this week. Big week. Anyway, I cannot touch my toes. I promised myself I would do this. I've been working on this for 6 months. This is no joke. I'm going to get so many emails saying you have to go to the doctor, which is probably true. Here we go. I cannot touch my toes. This is going to be my full effort. Okay. Oh my God, not bad. That was not bad for me. So I don't know. Thank you. Amazing. The first thing you clap for. That's amazing. I eat dinner at 6 o'clock. I live in Boca Raton. That's actually late for Boca Raton. Yeah, pretty wild guy. I run very slow. Some people say I'm walking. It's embarrassing. And I do like reality TV, if I haven't mentioned. But, so I share all of that. Oh, look at that. I'm so excited. I'm putting this deck together. I go, I'm putting that on the big stage. I don't care. That's going to be on the screen of the big stage, and it's going to be the greatest moment of my life. Oh, my God. Amazing. Anyway, so what happens when you do all this? What happens? You start sending all this stuff out, and you start being a human. I get so much hate mail. It is wild what people send me. Now, everybody gets nasty grams, but we all make a mistake. You send out an email, maybe you send in an extra time. This time instead of 3 emails, you send 4 to promote your webinar. And then what do you get in? You get a nasty gram. Oh, I love nasty grams. Somebody writes in, this is wrong. This email might be illegal. You're a spammer. You're a terrible company. And then what happens is, it circulates around your whole company. Somehow it gets to like your CEO and this one and that one, and it zooms right back down to your inbox, say, we need to have a discussion. And you hold up, oh, we got a nasty gram, stop. We're sending out too much stuff. This is very, very bad. Get out of here. Seriously, don't let that one keyboard commando, that one giant loser, all right, change what you're doing. Don't let the loudest voice in the room dictate what you are doing. They have a problem in their lives. Whatever it is, I hope they work it out. These are emails I've gotten. Your newsletter is embarrassing. That's actually true, okay? You are a disservice to the marketing industry. Totally fair. And your newsletter is the digital equivalent of garbage. I got them, like, that's fantastic. Like, I almost want to put that as social proof when people go to sign up. That'd be awesome, right? So this is my vibe. Haters are losers. Fact. Now, every time I get one of these, which is very often, by the way, I'll get one from this. 100% I'll get one from this. Amazing. And I send back the same reply every single time. This is what I write. This is the best. I write this exact thing. Smell you later. That is what I write back. And every time I hit send, it's the greatest part of my day. Smell you later. It's fantastic. And people write back, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, it's your problem now. Anyway, so we need to get really uncomfortable. That is the jam. We got to get uncomfortable. You're not going to win if you don't get uncomfortable. So here was my idea to save my business. Let's go back. I'm going out of business. I got to meet a lot of people. What am I going to do? I got a brilliant idea. What if I did a virtual conference? Oh, this is such a great idea, right? Even though they're terrible. I said, but no, I'm going to make them better. That's how I'm going to meet 1 million people. I'm going to reimagine them. So this used to be me. I used to be like, I'm going to plan. It's going to be the perfect moment. I'd wait. I think, how am I going to do it? What am I going to do? Blah, blah, blah. And I never do the thing. I would never do the thing that I was thinking about doing. I would always talk about doing the thing. And I said, screw this. Let's do this. So the next day, I asked people for advice. I said, here's my plan. My virtual event is going to be virtual, because it's a virtual event. It's going to be free. It's going to be fun. There's going to be no on-demand, because I want everyone to show up. And I'm going to make money from sponsors. I'm going to meet 1 million people. This is my idea. Okay, so I asked everybody I knew. That is a horrible idea. That will never work. That's a waste of time. The old me would have been like, uh-oh, I shouldn't do it. The new me said, who cares? I'm going out of business. Let's do something. And I live by this. I want to get this tattooed, not like Mike Tyson on my face, but pretty close, okay? Regret is worse than failure. I would rather try 1,000 things and have them all fail. Maybe one would work, that would be nice, okay? Than not having done them at all. Regret is worse than failure, always. So, and nobody knows what they are talking about. Literally, nobody. When you get advice from people, they're making it up. They're clueless. Nobody knows anything. Bill Gates doesn't know. Steve Jobs didn't know. Steve Ballmer doesn't know. Nobody has a clue. You need to go out there and figure it out and try. You just need to try. What is the worst that's going to happen? What is actually the worst thing that's going to happen? You know, I love this thing. I always think about throwing your hat over the fence. There's this little story of this Irish boy who was trying to climb over this fence. He could never climb over the fence. And he had a hat. He loved his favorite hat. Oh my God, I love my hat. And he would walk along every day and want to go over the fence. And he couldn't do it, no matter how hard he tried. So one day he said, you know what? Screw it. And he took his hat and he threw it over the fence. Because what happened then was he had no option. He had to figure it out. And that's what you have to do. Just go out there and just try. Just do the thing. Even if you're not ready. You don't have the best plan. You don't have it all lined up. You have to try. You keep waiting for what? So the day after I got the advice to never do it, what did I do? I bought a domain, guruconference.com. I put up a pre-reg form, and then I posted this on LinkedIn. I said, growth happens by doing things you're unqualified to do. I go, yep, that about sums it up. Is this going to be awesome? I hope so, but it could be a dumpster fire, okay? But failing and trying is so much better than never trying at all. And I promise it's going to be fun. You're going to get inspired. You're going to learn. I didn't know what I was talking about. Zero. I had no plan. My team was like, what are you doing? I go, I don't know. So I had nothing. No experience. Perfect. No sponsors, no speakers, no clue. But we'll figure it out. We were going to figure it out. That's the game. So how'd it go? What happened? How did it go? My big virtual conference. It was insane. We had 20,000 email marketers there. The conference is about email marketing. It was free. It's still free. Okay, we did a chicken wing eating contest live. I almost threw up. It's not even an exaggeration because I didn't know. I said, get me the absolute hottest sauces from the Hot Ones thing. I go research it, get the hottest ones. And then live, I said, give me the thing. And I didn't know you put like a dot. I went like that. I mean, and I ate it. I'm like, oh my God. That night, I lost a lot of weight. It was wild. We had Martha Stewart. We had the cast of Love is Blind, basically because I wanted to talk to them. And it was amazing. It was amazing. And then you know what? I go, let's do more stuff. Let's do more. So then I'm like, let's keep going. We're crushing it. And then I launched Guru Awards because we did Guru Conference. I go, we're going to have awards for everything. The greatest newsletter, the greatest website. We launched this awards. I dedicated all this money to it. And I didn't have the money because I was still trying to figure out how not to go out of business. Total and complete failure. Like, could not have gone worse. Nobody cared except for the 3 people that won and their moms. Nobody cared about any of the awards. You never even heard of it because it sucked so bad, okay? So what do you think happens when you fail? Does the world end? No. Do you just go into a ball and be like, I'm a failure, I'm a loser? Possibly for a minute, but no, that's not what happens. Here's what actually happens when you fail. This is what happens. You meet new people. You learn things. You grow, right? So much crazy stuff happens. So I dedicated all this money to this Guru Awards program, to this company. And I'm like, I can't do that anymore. It's not working. So I said, you know what? People like podcasts, right? And the company was like, yeah, they do. Big deal. I go, can you make a podcast? Like, yeah. I had never listened to a podcast. This is not that long. I'd never listened to one. I go, cool. Let's try a podcast. What the hell? Okay. Why not? So I posted this on LinkedIn. Should I start a podcast? Would be about marketing, pop culture, and life. And if I get over 50%, I'm doing it because the world needs another podcast, right? And we got a lot. A lot of people wanted me to discuss bad TV too, which was amazing. I said, screw it, let's do it. So we did. How'd that work out? Okay? And people tell me, you can't have a podcast that includes marketing and pop culture and all this stuff. Well, actually, as of today, we're #1 out of 54,000 podcasts in the United States. We just went to #1 last week. Thank you. I have no idea what I'm doing. I started out, we were interviewing people. I go, this is so boring. I'm not Barbara Walters. I can't just interview people. I'm terrible at this. I was bored. I didn't want to listen to the interviews. I'd be young, but oh, what are they saying? Who cares? I can't tell you how many we recorded and I never even released because I'm like, I can't. It's horrendous. And people are like, when's it getting published? I'm like, oh yeah, soon. Nope. Anyway, so we changed it all around. We do it differently. Made them really short. Who cares? Just try. Do different stuff. As my kids would tell me, listen, I am cringe. I love when my daughter told me to go touch grass. I'm like, what does that mean? She goes, go outside, touch grass. You're a loser. Fantastic. I told them what I was doing today. They go, who cares, Dad? Who do you think you are? Stop glazing on yourself, whatever the hell that means. That's the best one, glazing. I don't even know if it's appropriate to say, but I don't know. I don't exactly know what it means. I just know it's not like a compliment from them. My daughter's 17, my son's 18. They love when I talk about them. Oh my God, it's fantastic. Oh, this is the best. This is a true story. In my daughter's class at school, they're studying podcasting. So somebody said, doesn't your dad have a podcast? So they brought up my podcast, and this is this week, in the classroom, and they play it out loud. And I was talking about The Bachelorette on the podcast, and my daughter texted me, she goes, you're embarrassing me. I'm on a call. I'm like, what am I doing? She goes, we're listening to your podcast. I'm not doing anything. I go, tell them to turn it off. I was like, oh, she was so angry at me. I didn't do anything. Anyway, if you're not scared, if you're not nervous, if you're not uncomfortable, you aren't trying. You aren't trying. When someone says something's uncomfortable, that is what you should do. That is your North Star. That is where we're at. So this is what's stuck in my head every single day of my life. These things are stuck in my head, okay? The first one is eat the frog. This is the most annoying thing in the world. Eat the frog. Eat the frog means whatever is the thing that you don't want to do. Whatever is the thing that is on your mind, oh, I don't want to do that. I'm going to save it for the end of the day. I'm going to do it tomorrow. That assignment, the thing you have to write, the thing you have to get done. You do that as the first thing you do in your day. The first thing you do is the thing you want to do the least every single day of your life. You eat the frog. You feel good about it, and you get it over with. You eat the frog. That is how I live. It is so annoying. So annoying. And I know somebody else, these are not my quotes. I'm not really good at quotes. I should have quoted them. I don't know who said anything, but they're great, whoever they are. I like this. I don't have to. I get to. Every time oh, we have to go to this meeting, it's going to be terrible. No, I don't have to. I get to. Because there's a lot of people on this planet that don't get the opportunities to do the stuff that you're doing, that you have the dream job, you have the dream opportunity, you have the dream experience. Somebody wants that. So it's not I have to, it's I get to. And it changes your mind instantly. And this is the greatest advice I ever got. My grandfather, I was struggling in my career early on. My grandfather said, listen, he goes, I know this is going to hurt, but stupider people than you have been able to do it. I said, wait a minute. Let me think about that. I go, this is amazing. I go, you're so right. I go, there's somebody out there that's possibly stupider than I am, maybe not. And they were able to do it. And this resonated with me. It shouldn't have resonated with me, but it did. And it just helped me so much. Because I'm like, I know I'm not the smartest, but somebody out there is stupider than me, and they did it. Which means I can do it. It's like social proof. It's amazing. So, yes, these are my ridiculous secrets to life. Oh, I'm wrapping up. So listen, I really just wanted to share this idea of humanity. Humanity inserted into your marketing, into your business, into your website, into your social media, into your newsletters. AI is coming for us. It's a tidal wave. And if you think you're going to win by just doing the basics, you're going to lose. Now here's my marketing. You ready? This is me being a marketer. My conference is a virtual free conference. Sarah Jessica Parker's going to be there. Joey Chestnut, no joke, the hot dog guy, is doing a live spam eating competition against me and 5 other marketers. That's pretty stupid, and we're doing it, okay? If you want us to register you for the conference, if you want to get my newsletter, if you want to get the best and worst days to send out email calendar, and if you want me to spam you for the rest of your life, because I will, just send me an email right there. See, I have to be a marketer at the end of this thing, and it's uncomfortable being on the main stage and doing that. But you know what? Hey, you got to get uncomfortable. Listen, I appreciate you all. Hope this was useful. You guys are awesome. Thanks for being here.